What's up guys? Today we're going to check out Fast X on 4K UHD. I'm not going to get into how good or bad the movie is, I'm just going to share some of my thoughts on the audio and video quality. Now let's go over a few tech specs. The movie was shot in 4.5K. It's got a 4K DI, although I'm hearing it might be 2K. It's rated PG-13. Runtime is 141 minutes. Aspect ratio is 239:1, so there are black letterbox bars, and the audio is in Dolby Atmos. Now if you don't know what the Atmos viewer is, there's a link down below in this video's description that tells you all about it. Let's take a look at the Atmos viewer and see what this audio mix looks like. Right from the opening, during this massive action scene, we can see that this remains mostly a static 7-channel mix. There's a ton of stuff going on which should have engaged the top channels, but they didn't make a sound. To be fair, this was a flashback, so maybe the stuff that happened in the past doesn't sound as immersive, because when we move into the present, we can see that there's a ton of movement happening in all the available channels. At around 6 minutes, we can hear Dom's car spinning around the parking lot throughout the lower speakers while playing music in the overheads. At 25 minutes 10 seconds, you can see how the yellow balls are moving throughout the space. This represents the two cars driving through the lower speakers. And if you're using wide channels or center surround, they do get used quite a few times during this movie. Unfortunately, within this same action sequence, which is a major car chase, there's actually nothing that happens in the top speakers, keeping all the effects mostly in the lower channels, despite things blowing up and flipping over your head. And this happens for pretty much all of the big-time action set pieces. The part in the trailer where Dom is escaping the two choppers, you'd think you'd hear the choppers up top, but nope, it's all in the bottom. The grand finale with all the explosions, nope, all in the lower channels. It's the less aggressive scenes that get a ton of surround activity. At 59 minutes in Rio, we get maybe the best sounding musical usage in the movie. That, combined with the fireworks exploding in the background, makes it feel like you're actually outside. So as for light ambiance, it sounded great during the entire runtime. It's just the action sequences really needed more activity up top. As for bass response, I felt it was really good for the most part. It wasn't over the top like I was hoping for, but the explosions and car crashes had some good kick and the music bumped pretty hard too. It also didn't dig crazy deep, but the bank heist at the beginning of the movie and a couple of the explosions did have some floor-shaking rumble. If you're new to the channel and you're into home theater and want to know if a movie's worth playing on your home theater setups or want to know about the latest and greatest in audio and video gear, tap the subscribe button for new weekly videos. Also, thanks to all my Patreon and YouTube member subscribers for supporting this channel and making this purchase of Fast X possible on the Kaleidescape so I can bring you, the home theater movie loving community, this 4K review. If you want to join Patreon or the YouTube membership, you can find links for that down below in this video's description. For video quality, I found it to be fairly sharp and detailed. There's some really true 4K crispy scenes here and there, but for the most part, there is a slight softness to the overall look. It does look a little bit like Part 9. There's still plenty of detail on board, so facial features like wrinkles and sweat are all very discernible. And textures are great, although they can be a little too good to the point where you'll notice how some of the props look noticeably fake. And of course, none of the CGI looks all that real. It's a fast movie, so it's to be expected. Now for the HDR, for the Kaleidescape, it has a max CLL of 1000 and a max FALL of 187. It's a bright looking movie, not quite Mario Brothers bright, but I never felt it was a dim presentation. It's got a natural color palette that sometimes leaned a bit on the warm side for the stuff that happened at the Toretto household, and a bit cooler for some other parts, so it doesn't have any crazy oversaturated colors. It does have some bright specular highlights from all the things that are blowing up, and the cars also sparkle at night as well. Black levels looked great, not crushing any detail for the darker scenes while also providing solid contrast. It's an overall good looking movie that shares the same visual qualities as Part 9, so I'm going to have to go with an 8.6 for video. For audio, I was expecting a lot more seeing as there's so much action in this. It's got a big soundstage and great atmospherics. It's just the stuff that you want to be impressed by leaves you unimpressed. So I'm going to have to go with an 8 for audio. Now keep in mind that this is a review for the Kaleidescape version, which comes in at 70 gigs, so it should look identical or better than the physical disc whenever that comes out. This will give you a good idea of what to expect if you want to pick up the 4K Blu-ray. Now if you do want to pick this movie up, I'll leave some links for it down below in this video's description. As always guys, thanks for watching. If you want, you can follow us on social media, and if you'd like to support the channel and get exclusive content or great discounts on audio and video gear, then stop by our Patreon page. Be sure to like this video if you found it useful and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you again in the next video.